Welcome back to Match Day Live. So it is 1-0 in the Continental Cup Final as it stands at half-time to Chelsea. Nader Manua has rushed up from his co-commentary position to join me in the studio to dissect that first half. So, Nader, what is your overall impressions of the first 45 minutes?
I think it's a shame they conceded the goal, especially the way that they did, because I thought defensively they were pretty good overall. They felt a little bit of pressure at the start, but then they got into their groove, and I think they had the best chance of the game through Lauren Hemp. I think she'd be disappointed to have not scored. It's just a shame that you're a goal down, because I think in the last game, as soon as Chelsea took the lead, they were very much on the back foot, but they defended really well, you know, with Millie Bright and so on. And she seems like she's in a similar mood today. But as we were saying before the show, you know, you want to class it as a normal game, but it's not. So I'm sure at some point the kitchen sink will be thrown the longer it stays at 1-0.
So the chance that you're talking about came in the 26th minute. It's probably the most clear-cut chance of the game. Stanway puts a cross across the box, which Lauren Hemp gets onto, and hits the post.
Yeah, it was a fantastic ball from Georgia, and you know, for Lauren, I think she will believe that she should have done better, but that's because of the quality of player that she is. And it's a shame that it didn't go in, because those moments can be so big. You know, you never know whether that could be the last chance that you get, because from that point, I don't think she had a huge involvement in the game. So it's probably weighing on her mind a little bit, but she can't correct it because some of the players going down the other side and the like. But this is football, this is the way it works. And even for Chelsea, their goal for dropping to Sam Kerr, like, she's not done anything to like mean that the ball can drop her feet and she can have a chance. So it's just the way football goes sometimes, and it's a shame.
Following the Hemp chance that hits the post, the ball comes back out, and then I'm going to say it, Nader, hits the arm of a Chelsea player. So
if the one Chelsea fan watching through this feed will be like, yeah, but what about the handball against City earlier in the game? And I think there's a difference between the two, because I think for Alana Kennedy in the first few minutes, that's just hit her because she just happens to have been a yard away from somebody having a shot. Oh, sorry, heading the ball away. But then for this one, it's bizarre, because both arms are in the air, hits her in the arm, but then she drops to the floor, and it almost seems like she pretends she's been hit in the face, and the referee has a consequence. Like, let's be clear. Like, I'm not bashing referees, but most referees don't see everything, so they have to make a judgment. And I think sometimes they can go off people's reactions in the same way they do for who's got a throw in, who's got a corner kick, stuff like that. So maybe she didn't see it, and then the player laying on the floor holding her face makes you think, well, obviously it must have hit her in the face. And, you know, for them, they don't get the sort of the right to have a replay like we do. But it definitely felt like a penalty kick to me.
Yeah, and of course referees can't see everything, and they don't get the replay like we do. But I'm pretty sure
that's enough. Like,
yes,
I don't want to be a referee apologist. I don't want to do that. It's not my.
Because
it's not my thing.
I would say I'm watching live, and straight away I'm like, well, that's a handball.
Yeah, but you're watching live from the camera angle that's at the top of the stand. That's the thing. Like, it felt to me like it was an obvious penalty, because it wasn't like arms to the side or anything like this. Her arms are literally both above her head, and it hit one of them where she was trying to block a shot. Like, if a goalkeeper did that, you'd say it was a great save. Yeah. But, you know, for a defender, obviously, it must have hit her in the face there.
Now, I'm not the sort of person that says that a penalty is a definite goal. In fact,
no.
Quite frankly, I'm sick of hearing the narrative this week following the Everton game that just because you awarded a penalty, it's automatically a goal. It's not. But at that point in the game, we're starting to get ahead of it. The opportunity of a penalty could be game-changing, because did you feel at that point the momentum was in our favour?
Yeah, it certainly was. It certainly was. I think in the sort of 10, 15 minutes before Chelsea scored, City were like very much on the front foot. They were moving the ball well. I thought Kira Walsh was doing particularly well in midfield. I think the wingers were getting involved. Rasso was very much on the front foot as well. And there was a sense that, you know, maybe not necessarily that a goal was coming, but chances were going to come. So those moments matter. In the game that we play and the game that we love is one which doesn't tend to feature dozens of goals. So every little decision is never really that little, because it could be the difference between the only goal of the game and you not getting a goal at all. So that's why people get worked up and emotional about things. So it was a shame that happened. But again, that's the nature of football. It's just a case of saying it's gone now. Now we need to go out there and perform better in the second half.
Yeah, so 8 minutes after the sort of the handball, the hit, the Hemp chance, Chelsea take the lead, Sam Kerr, and it's probably going to be one that Ellie Roebuck and Demi Stokes don't want to look back on. Bit of an error there.
Yeah, it was. So I'm going on the assumption that Ellie shouted for the ball as it's coming up. But maybe Demi's not heard it, because, you know, it's a sellout, and I think that's one side of football which we forget sometimes. Like, when the crowd are noisy, it's hard to hear information from people who are right there on the field. So it seems like the two of them have contested for the ball when really Demi should have left it for Ellie. And as a consequence, I think that's why Ellie's ended up dropping it. And annoyingly, he's dropped it to their number one striker in Sam Kerr. And it was a good finish from on the left side, on the half volley. But it's a shame, but those are the details. And I think overall, City weren't giving them anything. And you can sort of epitomise by the play just before was Pernilla Harder running at Alana Kennedy. She didn't dive in and she took the ball away. But then next thing, the ball's in the box. And then after that, the ball's in the goal. And it's just a shame. That's how it goes sometimes.
So in the second half, what would you like to see? Is it a case of patience, or are you thinking there might be some changes off the bench, or what are you hoping for in the second half?
I think there'll be changes. I don't think there necessarily needs to be any at half-time. But I think they've looked best when they've had a bigger threat in behind. I'd like to see Lauren Hemp get in the game more, because I feel like a lot of the attacks haven't really come down her side. Even when she swapped over, it seemed like the play then followed Hayley Russell to the other side. And I think just a realisation that, the game's not done. And I think if City score and it goes to 1-1, I can see Chelsea struggling a little bit from that point. But they have to keep pushing, but then be aware that Chelsea enjoy the space in behind. That's what Sam Kerr's whole game. I've seen it for many years. She wants to stretch the game and get in behind. So if you overcommit, then before you know it, you'll be left in a lot of danger. But hopefully, Ellie's sweeping up back there like she has done for a lot that first half. But yeah, I'm expecting a big 45 minutes.
Yes, a big 45 minutes in the second half of the Continental Final coming up. Now, again, I'm going to give you a little reminder about why we have 2 jars of Cadbury's Eclairs in the studio. It's not because Nadim and I get really hungry watching the football. We are running a competition. We've been running it all week, and we will be announcing the winner tomorrow in our Derby Day MatchDay Live show. So all you have to do is guess how many Cadbury's Eclairs are in the 2 jars. So how many total are in the 2 jars? And the person that gets them right, or if there's a few of you, I mean, that'd be really mad if a few of you get it right there, Nadim? But whoever does, the winner will be getting the shirt that you can see is a signed Bernardo Silva shirt. Nadim really wants it. You got your guess in yet, mate?
I haven't yet, no, because it feels improper, because I think I've got a good idea of how many are in there. Because, I used to do maths and stuff, so I've kind of figured it out. But I don't know. The hope is, I'm not going to go for the shirt, but the hope is I'll meet him one day. That'll be fun.
Oh, have you never met Bernardo Silva?
Never met him, no. Never met him. I've never been allowed to go anywhere near him. I just shout his name from the sideline.
Are they keeping you away from him?
It's probably for his own good, to be fair.
See, the thing is, Nadim, I don't think they're going to let you near him because he likes dogs, and I know you don't like dogs.
But I do like Bernardo Silva. Surely that matters more.
Would you go on a dog walk with him?
I would spend time with him after he's finished his dog walk.
Nadim Manua doesn't like dogs.
So you're saying this. I'm not saying a word. I'm just going to you say whatever you like. I say whatever you like.
So Abby is pitch side at halftime. She's alongside Jane from the official Women's Supporters Club to give us their opinions on that first 45 minutes.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Jane. Obviously behind at the break there, but what did you make of City's performance in the first half?
Well, I'm sure Gareth will be pleased with some areas. There was some good control possession. We created some good opportunities, and unfortunately we haven't put any in the back of the net, and obviously Chelsea have. The goal is something obviously we could correct pretty quickly. It's disappointing, but 5-6 minutes earlier we should have had one ourselves, but I would have put my house on Lauren scoring that, to be fair.
And obviously very shortly after that chance there was the handball. We've watched it back a few times. I'm going to say it was a handball. But as a player, how do you then refocus and don't get caught up on a moment like that?
We can't. Look, for our players at any age within our club right now, it's all a case of them understanding they have to stay in the moment, because the moments change so quickly in the game. And they have to, they can't focus on those things. It's now a case of they've got 45 minutes left to go out there and change this result.
And what will Gareth be saying to them right now, do you think?
Well, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there's areas he's happy with, so he'll definitely keep doing those things. But look, we have to finish. It's great that we're getting into that final third and creating opportunities, but now the pressure's on. We've got 45 minutes to pick up a trophy.
And any changes in the second half?
Well, who knows? Look, I'm not reading the data today. I'm not looking at all the stats. So if we need to, we will. And I'm sure the girls who do have an opportunity, if they come in, they'll do well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jane. Hopefully, push on.
We will.
Get that goal.
My apologies, getting my Janes muddled up. I thought it was Jane Comer from the official Women's Supporters Club. It was Jane Ludlow, MBE, who's the Academy Director of the women's team at Manchester City. Sorry, technical director. So apologies to Jane there. But Janes, there's loads of great Janes at Manchester City women. We love all the Janes at Manchester City. Nadim's still here with me in the studio. I'll be sending him off very shortly to go back and do his co-commentary for the second half. But we'll have another quick look at Cryptic City. We both are pretty sure that we know it. So have have a look now. There is 4 pictures. Say what you see, put them together, and it'll give you the name of a current or former Manchester City women's player. Sending your guesses using the hashtag #ManCity. So, you gave us a clue on the end one last time. I think the first one is the toughest, Nadem. Any clues you can give us on that one?
What, like G major, D major, A major, what are they?
Musical notes?
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite.
Okay.
Yeah, not quite musical notes, but something that a selection of notes makes, yeah.
Something, okay, I like it. Thank you very much, Nadem. So do get in your guesses to us for Cryptic City using the hashtag #ManCity. So Nadem's going to run off now. He's going to do his co-commentary for the second half. He's going to be alongside Alistair Mann. We're not even giving him a chance to get a sandwich or a brew or anything. Sorry, Nadem. Go on, get back down. You can get the full commentary of the second half on the Manchester City app. If you don't already have it, you've got to get it downloaded. It's the place to get all your Manchester City content, but also the commentary for our games with the wonderful Alistair Mann, the best place that you can get your commentary. Now, Nadem and I will be back at full time. Hopefully by then we are celebrating at least 2 Manchester City goals and our first piece of silverware of the season. Come on, Blues. Everything crossed for a big, big second half. We'll see you at full time.
A partisan atmosphere, as you can hear. The Blues and the Reds of Manchester do battle.
Manchester City under 18s against local rivals Manchester United. Nice bit of footwork, gets his shot away, he scored! Manchester City have done it! Continental Cup winners for the 3rd time!
Caroline Wick will to provide something special. Oh my goodness me, she has done it! Man City! Delivering to the back post ahead. There is the killer blow.
Welcome to Manchester on its noisiest day.
Aguero! He has given that one up! And there's Nasri! It's 4! Goes to run it back and he scores! That's amazing! Great turn from him and a great goal!
Can they score 4?
Oh yes they can!
Yeah, we're roughly halfway through the big city weekender, I suppose. I hope you enjoyed our coverage this morning of the under-18 mini derby. I'm sure you did. It didn't look like it was going to